Any natterable material?
Ooh. Saw some nice cars on the way over on my Diverse.
It's the road to dry, aren't they?
Yeah, no, it was a nice morning. I saw a 991 Carrera GTS in grey. They look so good, mate. I think they almost look better than a 992.
I think all 992s are really nice shape. Yeah. I don't look at any 992 and think...
But it was a 901, that was.
GTS?
Yeah. Really nice. And I saw like a Miami blue Vantage, which was the right colour for that, wasn't it? Yeah.
It wouldn't look Miami blue and old style.
Not the new one. The kind of 2018 job.
I like them.
So yeah, car spot on the way over.
Very good.
Worth the Diverse. Well, the different route I had to take.
I've seen some stuff out. Stuff that I'm like, I can't believe you're out. As in, salt's been down.
Yeah. I saw a 911 Dakar the other week. I mean, that makes a bit more sense in this weather, but considering how much salt's been out on the road.
Lot city money. I didn't realise how much they were.
Really? What, $250,000?
No, like 400 grand.
400 grand.
I'm sure they're pushing that. I think they were that new, but because they didn't make money.
If you had money and you had one of them, would you actually off-road it though? I think I couldn't do that to a Porsche. Even though it's set up for that.
Yeah, but you said the same about, is it Hurricane Storatos or Storato? Or,
yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
I just don't understand those cars, but
no,
they get a lot of praise. There must be a market for them.
If anyone wants to let us have a go in one.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no to drive one, but I just don't get them.
But if you've got that much money, do you really get
I know exactly, yeah.
If you're spending 400 grand on a 911 Dakar, you're probably doing okay.
Yeah.
Probably
I can't put myself in the mindset.
No.
But
although I sent you photos, didn't I?
Mm.
I wanted to turn my Cayman into... I wanted to do a Dakar Cayman.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
It would be cool.
I was thinking, because we want to do a load of road trips. We want to go across... But imagine doing that, doing a full Dakar, off-road-ish wheels with one wheel on the back, like cage, everything. Imagine then going out to Morocco. Going out to Morocco, going through all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Be awesome.
Mate, do it. I'll join you. I'll be your co-pilot.
We'll plan some trips. I've got some things I want to do actually trip-wise. I mentioned to you the other day, how cool would it be to do a trip where we just use a map? So we have a destination.
Yeah. What, a physical map? They still have those?
Excuse me. For example, like if we, let's say, Nürburgring or Porsche Museum and any other places, that doesn't have to be Germany.
Yeah.
We say, right, it could be Scotland. So there could be a specific hotel, pub, or track in Scotland or anywhere. We've got to get there by map only.
Yeah.
I think it'd be hilarious.
It's like orienteering for a car.
No. Have you ever used a map, and a physical map in a car to get anywhere in your life?
No.
Me neither.
Well, my parents have when I was a kid, but yeah.
I think it'd be quite funny.
It's interesting because imagine if your phone died or you didn't have a sat-nav in the car, but you had a physical map.
People used to have, I'm sure people in the glove box, people used to have a physical map.
Yeah.
Nobody does anything.
That's how you have to get around. Then 2 years later, you'd have to buy a new one because the roads changed.
Yeah. And then it went to GPSs where you'd then have to update the maps on GPS, and then
it was my God.
You'd be going around a roundabout that isn't on your GPS. You'd be like, what is going on?
It'll take about half an hour to load anywhere.
The worst possible thing when sat navs became a thing. Like when was sat navs kind of everybody had one? Mid to late noughties?
Late noughties, yeah.
We at the time lived in the middle of nowhere of Wales, so everybody needed a sat nav to get to us, but none of them knew any of the roads.
No,
so it would just get you more lost.
Really?
Then if you were to just follow directions.
Okay, yeah.
Nobody could find us via GPS.
There's not even a paper map, just follow the signs.
We would just scribble down some... But it wasn't even like road names and numbers. It was like when you see this weird certain thing on a road, take a left
weird
there.
Tree,
yeah.
This cobbled fence.
Yeah.
Take a left.
At the scarecrow, take a right. It's like we just hope nobody takes that away. Cause
like, where do you live, bro?
It was in the middle of nowhere. It was great. Yeah. It was really, really good. But yeah, I think we should try and get places via map.
That'd be cool. Yeah, at least give it a go.
This is what I wanted to ask. Oh, because we need a clickbait title. Are we Gen Z, Gen Z? Are we millennials?
We're Gen Z. Yeah,
we are.
Yeah, I think millennial ends.
Find out the cutoff.
Millennial ends 97, 7 or something.
Oh, so we are literally just on.
Then we're just into Gen Z, which I'm not proud to be a part of.
What's after that? Is it Gen X?
Yeah.
97 to 2012 is Gen. We should probably say Gen Z, but the American influence. Gen Z. So here we are.
When? So Gen Z's using a physical map is, I think, the name of the video.
I think you'll show us up quite badly. I think it'll be fun. We're just going to find out where we want to go and in what.
Yep.
Should we start the episode?
Yes, let's do it.
Hello and welcome to the Ditch Finders podcast. Born from our insatiable need for more time behind the wheel and endless conversations about cars. Join us as we find every excuse to immerse ourselves in the automotive world.
We're a bit late to recording.
Not 6 weeks late.
Yeah, I mean in time. We tried to record over Christmas. My laptop died. Then I almost died with the flu. You haven't been very well.
I've been ill twice.
You're still not 100%.
Yeah, my throat's getting there.
It's been a bit of a shambles.
It's
been a nightmare. And then trying to set up today and get recording hasn't been much easier.
Got a new MacBook and it's having a moment.
Teething issues. But we're there.
We are. I've been so excited to record again because we've got so much to talk about.
Tell me about it. And the problem is, beforehand, if we ever needed, or we did every day, talk about car stuff, we'd just talk about it.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, save it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go talk about it. I'll go to send you stuff. I'm like,
I've got so many notes where I was like, yeah, this would be good for you.
I just write shit down.
Yeah.
I just get Siri to do notes for me. I knew I was going to summon her. So yeah, we're here. We're finally doing it, and it's nice. We've got a few ideas today's episode. The first of all, we were going to try and do, when we do episodes, kind of a weekly what's going on in the car world for you, your week on cars. For this one, we're going to do your month on cars. So January, I'll let you go first. What have you been up to? What you seen?
I think my list is a bit shorter than yours. I've pretty much been hibernating in January because I've been ill and the dark weather and everything. But the only thing I've really done in the car world is I went to a show called Autosport International.
I've never heard of it.
At the NEC.
Should I have heard it before?
Not necessarily. I don't think it's the biggest show in the world. It's kind of half trade show, business to business, and half like for the public.
Okay.
So I think it ran Thursday to Sunday, and the Thursday Friday was like the trade show part.
Okay.
And obviously I went for work. I went to basically scout it out for my workplace.
And then punters can go on the weekend.
Basically, yeah. But there definitely was a lot of public going on the Friday when I went.
Nice.
So there's a big show, like 3 or 4 units of the NEC. And like I say, we've got a trade show, which is the boring bit, and then 2/3 of it is kind of like some really cool stuff.
Show.
It's kind of obviously motorsport focused.
Yeah.
And so a lot of like car clubs, places like the UK Society of Motorsport, blah blah blah. A lot of people that are in the kind of industry.
Yeah.
But I mean, they had some really, really cool stuff on display, like perfect condition old Skylines.
Really?
Porsches, everything. Like, there's some really cool stuff, and a lot of tuners as well, actually.
So for it being local, it's quite nice just to get
exactly. It's just the pop by.
For January, when you're not going to see much.
It was like 20, 30 quid. I think there was some live stuff on. I heard a lot of V8s and stuff going around. So
nice.
But I didn't know where that was. So yeah, I went there and it was pretty good, but it's not a big major thing on the calendar.
And that pretty much sums up your car journey for the month.
That's it. Yeah,
I've had a busy start to the year.
Yeah,
for cars.
Yeah, your list is longer than mine.
Yeah, so we should probably start with. I drove to we've been meaning to for a while. There's a few of us who wanted to do a quick trip. We've on tours and stuff before that we've done through Wales. There's a lovely little village called, I think it's pronounced Betsacoed. It could be Betsacoed. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's Welsh that might be listening can correct us. Amazing little village, almost at the foot of Snowdon. And it's got a really nice cafe at the train station. I think it's called Alpine Cafe or something like that. Really lovely. And we stopped there before a lot of the time for breakfast. So we thought what we're going to do is we'll get up early and we'll drive the cars all the way from the Midlands to North Wales and back. And we might do a couple of nice roads on the way back through Festiniog and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did. We got up we left at about 5:30 in the morning, and we went for breakfast, and we drove back. And I did an entire tank of fuel, about 270 miles.
Quite far, yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
And there was a few of us. I was in Piglet, a little Cayman, the GT3 RS, which was nuts because we were going
trying
through,
to keep up with that then.
just trying to go through Wales. It was when you get to Wales, the temperature dropped. You're getting higher up, and there's snow. And it's on
really?
Pilot Sport Cup 2s.
Oh no,
Braver than I am.
yeah,
That's for sure. So as GT RS, there was a little MX-5 with us, which is always good fun and good to see.
Yeah.
And anybody in MX-5 seems to be having more fun than anybody else.
Yeah.
And then there was, I don't know what it was. I'm going to try not butcher this. There was a Honda,
right.
a late 90s Honda 2-seater, like hydraulic convertible. It has back in the day, it was quite a thing for this roof. That was like its selling point. It was called something Del Sol, I want to say.
Yeah.
I need to look it up.
I
Should have been more organised.
Yeah.
That was cool. Little 90s Honda. We just took a trip.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And there's some amazing ways. It made me want to do it more and made me think I need to do more and more trips. One thing we've both said this year that we want to do is just more and more car stuff.
Yeah.
This being one of the things, doing a little podcast and hopefully creating some videos.
Yeah.
We booked Goodwood finally. How many years have we been trying to say we're going to go and do Goodwood?
We did it. Oh my gosh, 6 years ago, 5 years ago.
I've never been.
I know
you
got
did it
with
with your brother.
Yeah.
I've never been.
You've never been.
Never been.
Oh mate, it's good.
And it's quite nice to actually say, right, we're going to do more stuff,
Yeah.
and then actually do more stuff. So it's quite nice to use my car in January, which I never usually do. It's nice to be doing this. We've booked Goodwood.
Yeah.
And I drove my first 911.
Yeah.
Never driven a 911 before.
Wow.
And I drove a 992 Carrera T.
Yeah.
Fair to say.
Nice car.
We drove it. I got to drive it to lunch stop.
Yeah.
And so it was only 7 or 8 miles. I didn't get to do a track day in it. 7 or 8 miles. But it was enough to then spend the entire meal and the entire afternoon on Auto Trader. I was sold. 992, I think there isn't a bad version of it. I think they all look phenomenal. And the T is really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's
Very
not,
good things.
It's not the fastest engine, but it's the perfect amount of power for the road.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. That manual gearbox.
There's no one else.
7-speed manual.
Really?
So I guess that's like an overdrive.
Yeah.
And
Good on
auto
the
blips on the down. So you just unnecessarily down change all the time.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Wow.
So much fun.
No, that sounds fun.
It actually gave me... So do you know how last episode we spoke about anything kind of after 2018 we thought wasn't that exciting. Euro specs mean that it doesn't sound very good. It's turbocharged. It's not very exciting. And if it is, it's a limited edition, very unattainable and extremely expensive.
You're just proving yourself wrong.
Kind of. I kind of had to eat my words when I drove it. Because it's not a normal car.
It's
still
150
grand or whatever. But it's still a car you can go and buy. It's not a limited edition. Granted, it's a lot of money. But it's still something you can go and buy as a normal production car.
Probably the fact that it's a manual helped. It still felt a bit analog and
I think so.
And old school.
Yeah. And it had an analog dial still.
Yeah.
So it was 74 plate.
It sounded good.
Interestingly, from the inside, yes.
Not from the outside.
From the outside, sounded like a Dyson.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah. So when it pulled off, when we were going our separate ways, it pulled off.
Yeah.
It was almost more exciting than the Tesla we drove off in the other way. It was almost as much noise. It was really depressing. But in the car, sounds amazing, so it must be pumped in. Which is okay, because they do a very good job of it.
Yeah.
It's actually something you wouldn't know.
Synthetic, yeah.
And on idle and startup, it sounds good. But as soon as you try and give it the beans, it won't.
Right.
It just throttles the noise.
I mean, it's cool that you've finally driven one, though.
Seriously cool.
I'm yet to drive one.
We'll get you on this year.
100%.
GT RS next. Let's go! What else have I done this month? What else have I done this month? Probably not a fat lot else. I sat in a 296 GTS.
Any good?
Feel
nice?
Strangely basic.
Basic?
Really basic. There's not a lot going on inside.
I mean, is it minimalistic or is it basic? Because they are minimalistic because the dashboard's all about the driver, isn't it?
I kind of want to say basic.
Oh my God.
It's the first one I think of. It was in carbon bucket seats that were extremely uncomfortable because they have these bolsters that are carbon.
Yeah.
The arm just digs into it. It's horrible.
Oh, really?
It's really not very nice at all.
Oh, no.
And I'm not a massive guy or anything, but it's just the position that wasn't very nice. There just wasn't a lot going on. It was really clean. It was minimalist, but it felt basic.
Yeah.
And because it was GTS in a certain spec, in this quite cool metallic purple, it was best part of 400 grand, I think.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, to put your money.
I wanted to get in it, sit in it and go, I'm sat in a Ferrari, feel like a child again. And it was a bit boring.
I think once you turn the engine on, you start driving it, your mind would change, wouldn't it? But
I think so. But I don't, the whole point in a Ferrari is that it can be sat there. Yeah. You don't even have to be sat in it. And you should be tingling, for lack of a better word. Didn't do anything.
No way.
Nothing. Strange. Really strange.
That is strange. But when you sat in that 458, was that different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before, just looking at it gives me a tingle. Yes. Interesting. So yeah, I wasn't impressed by that. I'm sure if I drove it, I'd change my tune.
Yeah.
I think we've covered our little catch-up.
Good.
For January. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to ask you. Have you got any automotive New Year's resolutions?
Ooh, to buy a car, probably. This year? Yeah. I've got an itch. I love my Z4, but I've just got an itch for another car.
Yeah, man.
And all being well, it depends on jobs and where I'm based and whatever. How I'm buying a flat at the moment, so see how that goes. I want to buy a new car. Yeah, I want to upgrade. I want more power.
Do it.
Yeah. So that's probably mine.
Maybe we'll use that as an opportunity to start recording.
Yeah.
Find your car.
Yeah.
Nice.
Car shopping.
Very, very cool. Other than the fact, obviously, we've kind of got a joint resolution to do more car stuff. I think we're doing well so far.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Buying a car definitely falls within that.
Yeah. What about you?
It's kind of an automotive one because of the podcast. I want to swear less. I said the C word within about 5 minutes of the first episode, and I was like, I've got to improve on that. I swear a lot. So that's one. And I think hopefully the podcast, trying to be more responsible, will help with that. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to try and do.
As much as it's like, say what you think, it's like, you don't need to be crude for the sake of it, is it?
Yeah, I kind of am. So yeah, I thought,
the C word's a bit far, mate.
It is a little bit. It was a bit heavy for within the first 5 minutes of the first ever recording.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's strong. So yeah,
that's
my only other one. Should we move on to the news?
There's definitely been some news.
There's quite a bit of news.
I want to test you first.
Go for it.
So the SMMT UK car sales for 2024. Obviously, they release their numbers every year. I just wanted to test you and see if there's any surprises in there. There's a few obvious ones.
Yeah.
There's a few surprises. So they've got the top 10 selling cars for 2024. And I want your guess so you can get the number one.
The number one always used to be the Fiesta, but they started making that. Correct. So I reckon it's still a Ford, and I reckon those customers have moved to the Puma.
You sure you haven't looked at this?
Am I right?
That's the Puma. Yeah, it's Puma's number one.
That's just logic.
Yeah. I was going to say, I knew you'd know the Fiesta used to be.
Yes.
So I like the logic thinking.
I was going to say the Cougar, but the Puma's the next step up.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But you do see
your entire thing.
Yeah, just...
the rest I'm not going to get, I don't think. But I can try.
Have a go. Just chuck a few names out.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head, top sellers. What am I seeing? Fiat 500, is that up there?
Nope.
No? Nowhere near?
Nope.
Give me a brand and I'll try and give you the model.
In number 2 is a Kia.
Sportage?
Yeah.
Nice.
Think crossover SUVs and SUVs. That's what sells these days.
Mocha?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
X3
used to be a good seller. No, X3, no. There's a lot of...
Qashqai?
Yeah, Qashqai, just behind Kia Sportage.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Kia Sportage was only 1,000 off the number one spot.
Really?
Number one was 48,000.
Wow. What about Hyundai Tucson, or whatever it's called?
Yes.
Is that up there?
Number 7, 32,000.
So
they still
how many
upland.
Ford Pumas were sold in the UK last year?
48,000.
48,000.
Yeah. Or registered.
Registered, yeah. But
different.
it's going to be there or thereabouts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything else that isn't a mid-sized crossover SUV title?
Volkswagen Polo, number 10.
Interesting.
28,900.
So is that this first small car, first hatchback?
That's the only hatchback on there.
Sorry,
Volkswagen Golf, number 6.
Wow.
And then the rest, so then you got like Nissan Juke, which is like a crossover.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Tesla Model Y, no surprise there.
Why didn't I say that?
Yeah,
where numbers does that come in?
Number 5.
Yeah.
MGHS, which I think is a small SUV as well.
It might even be electric, isn't it?
And I was surprised by this one. Volvo XC40, number 9.
I've seen a lot of those, but they do a lot of different variations of that.
Yeah.
You can get electric, a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, a bloody petrol and diesel.
What the weird thing about Volvo is that they're very nicely made, very nice inside, but they are literally the most boring car to drive. And that's they're not trying to be fun to drive, but they are so boring to drive.
My mum once had I think it was a V70, and they sold it based on the fact that it would have been more interesting to drive a plank of wood. Honestly, they were like, it was an alright car to look at. It was well made.
I think like the S60, the saloon, I think that looks really good. I think it looked great.
Yeah.
Just so boring to drive. Sorry. They're not meant to be. I don't want to feel bad saying that. They're not meant to be.
Roasting Volvo. Not getting involved to any.
I've just never driven a more boring car to drive. I drove the XC60 and the V30 or 40 or whatever the hatchback is.
My sister has an XC40.
Yeah.
And
sorry, Ellie.
Is it XC for the big one, or is it just an X? I don't know. It's a 70, the big one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've got both.
But he used to have an S90. That's a massive car, that is. The big
Yes,
thing.
I think he's looking at S60s again.
Okay.
But a Larry one. Well, as Larry as a Volvo can get.
Yeah. Nice.
That would just rinse them. Yeah, I don't get excited by Volvos, personally. But hey, go on then. So is there any other notable things on the list?
Yeah, that's pretty much the whole list, to be fair. That is the whole list.
I'm glad I got one.
What I thought was interesting, the percentage market share change between like diesel, petrol and electric and stuff.
I'm going to guess diesel's gone down, petrol's gone up, and so is electric.
Year to date. Yeah, diesel used last year was 7.5% share, now 6.3.
Only 7% diesel.
Yeah, I mean
I wonder what that
was
extinct 10 years ago. Yeah,
they might well be extinct.
Wow.
Petrol down from 56% to 52.2, so still over half of all new cars is just petrol.
And electric is in the 40s, is it?
No. It's split down by 3. So battery electrics 19.6 up from 16.5.
20% of all new cars registered are electric.
Fully electric, yeah.
That's a big percentage. If you look compared to 5 years ago, that's a huge increase.
20% is a good chunk, yeah. But you got to think how many of those are probably business lease and whatever. But
yes.
And then like PHEV and just mild hybrid are up a few percent each as well, 8.6.
Here's an interesting one. So do you know how we've got the Tesla? Pure and simply because we can put it through the business. We can do, whether it be benefit in kind or salary sacrifice, there's so many tax savings to buy an electric car. And that's why there are so many on the road, especially the big expensive ones, because if you're in the 45% tax bracket, it's a very cheap way of motoring.
Oh, yeah.
You can put the new M5 through.
What?
The new hybrid M5, you can put through.
It is hybrid, yeah.
It's a hybrid, right. But it might even be a plug-in. I'd have to check that.
Yeah.
But the new M5 does qualify to put through a business because it's hybrid, and it's under the threshold for the CO2 produced to be able to be put through. So you could put through the new M5 through the business as a hybrid.
Mate, do it.
So that's really cool. There's a new Tesla Model Y.
Yeah, seen that.
Been launched. Holy crap, it's expensive.
Ew.
Compared to the current.
How have they
I don't think it looks very good in comparison, personally.
I think it looks a bit sharper.
Yeah, I just don't like the lights all the way across the front and back.
Yeah, it's just the way
This is why we went for the Model Y now, is because looking at the Model 3 facelift called the Highland, I think.
Highland?
I think that's what they're called, the facelift, yeah. I didn't like it, so I thought, let's get it now, because I'm probably not going to like the facelift on the Y. I think the Y, I can't remember what they called it. It was supposed to be called the Juniper. I don't know if it is. Not a massive fan. And it basically comes out at £700-800 a month instead of 300-400.
Wow.
And you don't get that much.
How have they warranted twice the price?
But that's just the launch version. I think it's just the early ones. They'll probably come down
spec.
and be what they were beforehand. So we'll see. But they launched it earlier than I thought they were going to. I think it's going to be March, April.
Yeah, it feels like the current model wise not been that long.
No.
Out. M3 CS Touring.
To think that car couldn't get any better. Oh.
I love the paint colours in it as well. It's 4 paint colours. British Racing Green, Laguna Seca Blue. Which
that looks phenomenal, especially with the contrast carbon and stuff and the bonnet, the red stripes.
And the red. Oh, I'd absolutely go for that colour.
Yeah.
Frozen solid white or sapphire black.
They smashed it.
If I had money,
that
would be all
if I had money. Is that not the ultimate daily?
Yeah.
You could have it. I think you can have it as anything really, but
yeah.
Holy crap, that car's cool.
And like, I always think of it like if you're going on a big road trip with all your mates and someone takes the M3 Tour and then just chucks all the bags in the back, mate. It's just fucking cool.
It's so cool.
Sorry, I swore. It's not my...
I didn't swear, it's fine.
Yeah.
If you swore, that's fine. You carry on. And how cool were the press shots that they released?
Yeah.
They were just sideways everywhere.
Oh.
That's how you launch a car.
Yeah, exactly. They still, despite all the design flaws that we're seeing at BMW, they got that right.
I feel like it's nice to be excited by M cars again because it's been through a period where it's been harder to be excited.
That is kind of the only one I am excited about.
Agreed.
And not, I mean, I also still like the current M3 competition and stuff, but the touring is just such a level.
Isn't it sad that other than the M3 touring, the reason why I got excited by an M car is because you can put it to the business? Is that not the most boring thing ever? Not because it's Laird, it wants to kill you, or because it just wants to go sideways everywhere. Just because you can save on tax and pay for the business. And it's a hybrid, and it does this amount so much so security.
I really hate the new M5 design.
Of what's going on? As if the front grille couldn't get any worse, they thought, let's illuminate it.
Yeah. Might as well put an arrows here. Oh shit, it's good as. Oh my god.
It's not good.
And it's just got M cars have always had that lovely curve above the wheel arch.
Bit more of a profile.
It's lost that profile.
It just looks like a 5 Series.
So just upset.
It's sad. It's really sad. Let's not start the year off with negative. No. Honda and Nissan merge you've put down here. Yeah. That's interesting, considering Nissan's selling so well with
Qashqai and
Qashqai.
I think globally they're both certainly Honda is struggling. And I've heard definitely from the industry that Nissan's struggling.
Interestingly, I don't think Nissan knew about this. From what I've heard, the Japanese government have basically just told told Honda to just basically buy Nissan. Save it.
Fair enough.
They're
trying to save their car industry, aren't they?
I think it's government
Chinese.
Yeah.
I mean, the CEO of it was either Honda or Nissan said basically this is to compete with Chinese.
It's sad, really.
That's what happens. There's only ever room for so many OEMs, and so when all these new Chinese brands come in, people have to pair up, and it'll always come back to 10 or 20 manufacturers, and this is what you're seeing. There's too many at the moment. Now,
one of the big ones is Tesla. Tesla's taken such a massive market share out of people.
Yeah.
The only nice thing about what Tesla's done is it's just electric, so they're not taking away.
Yeah,
I say that
they've got their own.
We've got one. We wouldn't have bought an electric car, so it has taken away from even others. It's slightly different, but BYD is the same. A lot of the Chinese manufacturers now. MG's mainly electric.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
We'll see. But by the sounds of things, government, I think you're right, is to say the Japanese car industry, because they're the biggest players, aren't they?
Yeah.
In Japan. So fingers crossed they sort it out, because they both made some incredible cars.
Yeah, and obviously Mitsubishi's owned by, I forget which way around it is. Yeah. Mitsubishi's owned by Honda or I think Nissan.
I don't know.
I remember. So that kind of comes at almost a trio.
So we can fact check live.
Exposing ourselves.
Yeah. It is owned by... Hold on a second. I think it is called the Mitsubishi Group. It's owned by Nissan.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it's owned a third. 34% is owned by Nissan.
Right. How many new Mitsubishis do you see there? I don't even know what they sell anymore.
Same Subaru though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think Subaru's bigger in the States than it is here.
Yeah. Got the Outback.
But there isn't a huge amount of Subaru going on in the UK, is there?
No, it's like a couple thousand a year.
Do you know what I'm saying? Especially the Japanese brands. They bring out some really cool concepts, but they're not actually delivering on them. How cool would it be?
It was like the RX-7 rotary concept a couple years ago. Like, just don't know anything about.
Same with Nissan's finally canned the GTR. Is that right? Finally stopped making that. Yeah, but that was the only cool thing Nissan made.
But they had their concept for a new one, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, but how cool if they did? If you look in the past, 240SX, 350, 370Z, all these cars that are really cool.
And same with Mitsubishi, ain't that? You're not as interested with the old Evos, and like the old Subaru Imprezas. Like, obviously, you probably can't make that car now. Fair enough, but that's what gave them the brand, and then the high volume passenger car.
The only one that is still doing this is Toyota.
Yeah, they're still trying.
Yeah, I think they are selling.
And the Supra's a nice car. The GR86, GR Yaris, like
their cars I buy. They do want to buy. I almost want to buy them to support them doing the right thing.
I just remembered actually. We were playing pool the other week, and I said there was a car that I wanted.
Oh yes. Okay, so most of our lives, we've completely trashed French cars because our generation of French cars aren't great. But we were talking about how our parents' generation remember very fondly French cars, specifically French hatchbacks.
Yeah.
And French engineering and all this stuff. We don't have the same experience.
No.
We want to. However, you turn around and said there's a French car you want to buy. I guessed Megane RS.
Yeah,
I was
a
wrong.
good guess. I was looking at them before.
What? And the other one was...
It's a new car.
Alpine A1. Is it electric?
Yeah.
Is it the Alpine?
Yeah. The 18 on it?
So the Renault 5, but Larry one. Really?
Mate, if I had a house and a wall charger, I'd genuinely consider it.
Really?
I just think it would be so cool.
It would be. I think it looks great.
We've got like 200 horsepower, the top model.
I think they're quite quick.
And I think they look cool. It's the first electric car I've ever been like, I would actually buy that.
That's interesting.
How weird's that? And I was at work running the numbers on it. I live in a flat. I wouldn't even be able to charge it. So that says something. I could just imagine, just like obviously minus.
There's an extension lead from the third floor to go all the way down.
It's just hanging down. Yeah, I was genuinely thinking like, minus the fact that you'd need to recharge it, like just driving something like that around Europe or something like.
Does it not got a chance? Does it work?
No.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Get one installed.
So yeah, I'm going to buy an A390.
Do it.
You got European Car of the Year.
If you can get an M2 at the same time,
that
can you not have a company car, put it through work?
No, they don't do that at the moment. They don't do a salary sacrifice.
Maybe you can put in a good word. Yeah, to start it. So I'll test the theory with an A290, and so there we go.
I'll tell with the team. Give me a company car, and I'll just make sure it all works.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So not only was not expecting to go for a French car, it's electric too.
Yeah.
Are you okay? This cold. This man flu's really gone.
Mate, I've
done a number on you.
My hair's gone.
What else have we got down here? So we've done all of that. That was the other cool one. We spoke about gaming a lot last time. New Assetto Corsa Evo.
I need to have a look at this.
So the headline is that it's 600 square miles of open world sim, not arcade.
Okay.
Sim game around the Nürburgring.
Including
the Nürburgring. Yeah.
Is it just like, it's not like Forza Horizon where like there's a storyline, it's just like pure driving, you just drive around.
I need to have a bit more, I need to look into it. But the headlines are Assetto Corsa Evo, 600 square miles of open world sim around the Nürburgring.
Right. Can you go on the Nürburgring?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a whole point.
Honestly.
Yeah, you can go around it. It's not go on it, but you can go around it.
Yeah. Mate, that sounds sick.
But I think it's like Forza Horizon meets sim, not arcade. Sounds right up our street.
Yeah.
That would actually get me to get the race.
Well, I've just bought a gaming PC, so if I can play it on PC, that'd be sick.
Yeah, Assetto Corsa I think gets played a lot on PC. So yeah, absolutely. Mate, sick. And if it comes to console, I'll get that out. I'll tell you what, imagine that set up on a gaming PC. That racing sim.
Oh, yeah.
With VR as well.
Big screen.
Because I played original Assetto Corsa with VR. That was ridiculous.
Was it good? Yeah.
You can just look around the car.
It was so real.
It's a bit weird. It makes you feel a bit sick, actually.
Yeah.
But it was very cool.
No, sure.
Done with the news.
Yeah.
What I want to talk about is 2025 and the year ahead. More specifically, cars to look forward to.
Yeah.
So, I'm just noise. I was just all vowels. I'm going to talk through the auto car.
Yeah.
New cars 2025. Your handy guide to 159 cars coming this year. Let's see if we get excited by any of them. So, a Bar 600e. So, it's the electric.
That's a bit of a...
Bit like an A290.
Bit of an A290, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably quite a good car.
AC Cobra GT. So, new AC Cobra.
Right. Well, you got pictures with that. Does it look anything like
I
the
haven't
old
got
one?
photos of that one.
Yeah.
It looks, from what I've seen before, it looks exactly like the old one, but it's got 654 brake horsepower.
And lane keep assist.
Basically, you can imagine. And you have to press a million buttons before you can actually get in. And then, yeah, okay. That would be horrendous. Alfa Romeo Junior, different version. Another version of the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, but that's going to be electric. Alfa Romeo Tonale.
Is that the coupe?
No, that's I'm pretty sure that's the crossover.
They're doing a coupe, aren't they? I've seen some. I can't remember what it's called.
We'll overlay it.
Bloody
Alpine A110.
A new Alpine A110.
Another. So it's like the R, but taken again. A290, we just spoke about that. You're quite looking
winner.
A390.
What's that?
That's an interesting. No, it's not. That's quite a spoiled little number. It's like a bigger version of the A110. I guess. It looks kind of similar.
Renault that's based on.
Is that going to be electric as well? Probably. A rival for the Porsche Macan electric.
Well, I've already seen it on the roads. That's all. Yeah,
I have seen that. The second iteration of the Aerial Nomad. I'm excited by that.
Oh, the off-roader.
Yeah, because that's cool. But now it comes back with a Focus ST power and 715 kilos curb weight.
715. I mean, it's just a roll cage, isn't it?
It's awesome. Aston Martin Valhalla.
Love that.
Seriously,
love that.
I just love everything Aston Martin doing at the moment. I just hope we can't. We're not their customer. I just hope everybody that can afford one that would go and buy something like a Ferrari goes and buys an Aston Martin.
At least.
Ferrari's a bit boring at the moment. Go and get yourself an Aston. That's my advice to those. Because they've got Vanquish Volante, the new Vanquish, the new Vantage Roadster, which is sexy as.
So nice.
Aston Martin are doing bits at the moment. Audi have obviously changed their tune on everything. And everything odd number is now, I want to say, combustion. Everything even number is now electric.
Really?
I want to say, yeah. So the new naming strategy means that the combustion engine A6 will be replaced by the A7. So odd numbers are combustion, even numbers are electric.
What about the A7?
I think that's the A6.
Is that now the A7?
Now A7. And the A4 is now the A5.
Oh, I don't have the brain power to.
No, good either.
Okay.
New Q3, Q5, Q6. Not that they're going to be much different, I can't imagine. RS6, but it's now e-tron. Because the RS6 is now electric, which just looks like a longer, uglier version of the RS6. Okay. And it'll be worse in everywhere because it's electric. How can you have an RS badge and it be electric?
Well, it's like the RS e-tron GT, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the way it's going, Tom.
New iX, more electric. iX3, M2 CS we're going to get.
Oh, yeah, right.
So if there's anything like the M3 Touring CS, could be cool. Speaking of which, M3 Touring CS, M5 Touring, it's cool because it's a Touring.
That's gone a bit under the radar, that is.
Little bit.
Everyone mentioned about it when it was announced, but I think it's because we've already had the M3 CS Touring, haven't we?
Yes, and I feel like because BMW cars have got so big, the 3 Series is what was a 5 Series because they're quite big.
True, yeah.
And then the 5 Series ends up being a bus.
It's a bit of a boat, isn't it? Yeah.
Just a bit. BYDs,
Sure.
A load of weird name BYDs. They're all electric and boring.
So pessimistic.
Everything's electric. Oh, there's a new Dacia Duster Hybrid 4x4.
Finally, a good car.
Your check looks out.
You know that was the Dacia Duster was nominated for European Car of the Year. I mean, there's something wrong with the world when they dash your dusters in the lineup.
It's horrendous. There's just so much electric, more and more electric. 12 cylindry, FAT. I quite like it. It's cool, but again, any of these cars now that Ferrari are bringing out are pretty much just limited numbers.
Why does everyone have to ruin
silly money?
Why does everyone have to put one body panel in black on their car?
What's wrong with that? I don't think you can change that either. Can you have that body
Probably
panel?
not. I don't know.
I'd have to have a look. Maybe we'll get.
I haven't spec one up at Ferrari yet. I'm booked in.
You've not booked into your customer visit?
No.
Strange. Fiat 500e update. More electric cars. Ford E. Mustang GTD.
That's actually quite cool.
Really cool. But again, is that not a limited number, silly expensive?
Yeah, I would have thought so. It looks like a monster.
I think it's like 400 grand.
I've never been that bothered by Mustangs, but that is cool.
Ford Puma Gen E. More electric. A new Honda Prelude, which I'm sure America will get excited about.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know how Honda did the Ioniq 5N?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it to the Ioniq 6, which is one of the most ugly cars I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I was just about to say, actually, Hyundai is the only other one. It's still not for me, but I can appreciate their efforts.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm glad they're still trying. They came out with some concept that apparently was going to come in that looks almost like a Back to the Future 80s, 90s sports car. Actually, it's quite cool, and apparently it's going to.
I'll tell you what car I hate. I think it's the Hyundai, but it's like the bubble car. It's like a kid's drawn it. It's like a little bit of bubble and then a bubble and then a bubble. Do you know what I'm on about? Is that a Hyundai?
It's not that one.
Yeah, it's that.
Yeah, that's the 6. Yeah, they're doing that. They're doing the N version of that. I think they call it the Dreamliner or Dreamweaver or something horrendous. It's pretty ugly.
I hate it.
It's horrendous. But yeah, you can have a sporty version of that. Yeah.
I need to stop being so pessimistic.
Yeah. More electric.
Talk going well.
Kia EV5, EV6, EV9. Oh, it's just Kia Sportage. Okay, here we go. We're getting better. Lamborghini Temerario. Huracan replacement.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Pretty cool. That is apparently a twin-turbo V8 that rests to something like 10,000 RPM. Very excited by that.
That's good.
That's good news. Defender Octa. So the new Defender.
Oh, yeah.
I watched seeing through glance.
SV job.
Yeah, so they've apparently lost the SVR badge.
Yeah.
And they've replaced this one with the Octa because even the Range Rover Sport is now an SV, not an SVR. So they've lost the SVR badge. But the Octa is the most focused off-road. But apparently, as a result, it drives far better on the road too.
Okay.
So it sounds pretty cool because that's I want to say supercharged V8. I think it's 626 horsepower in the Defender. Pretty cool.
I mean, why not? Just again, that's for someone with a bit too much money.
Again, I think they're about 150 grand
for a Defender.
Good
Lord.
Yeah. A load more electric cars. This is just depressing.
We can't have every episode like this.
I know. But when you just go through AMG GT Pro, I like the look of the new AMG GT.
Yes. Very nice car.
It's
elegant.
More Porsche design than it was beforehand. If you compare it,
the engine
like a Turbo S, just from the silhouette, the side, the rear, it looks really smart. I like it. The first one,
I know what you mean. Actually, yeah,
I know
what you mean.
I think Mercedes are taking a U-turn or have taken a U-turn on the C63 and put a V back in it, which is good news too. More EV from this time MG. More EVs from Mini.
Are there any Lotuses on there?
Don't believe so. I'm on N. So
okay.
New Nissan Micra electric. Armada, so a Chinese electric.
Yeah.
The models coming from them.
They're doing quite a bit in the UK.
Peugeot E408, Peugeot E3008, Peugeot E5008, Polestar 3 and 5. Apparently,
Polestar 3 is actually a nice looking car.
Cool little car. Did you see I think I sent you the Polestar concept, the really cool sport, a bit like an F-Type.
Yeah. Without the roof, yeah.
Really cool.
Oh, it looks awesome.
Like an F-Type roadster.
Looks really cool.
Does it very, very
But
cool.
again, they're off-brand of Volvo, and they're probably quite boring to drive.
The most depressing new car news of 2025 is we are set to get the new Porsche Boxster and Cayman. All electric. There is room
Really?
for movement, I think.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of taking a U-turn already on Macan and Taycan. By the sounds of things.
So they're launching like a Panamera, a Taycan with an engine, right? Or they're considering
There's news and speculation on both the Macan, because they kind of withdrew most of the combustion Macan from the world. The UK still could get it, but I don't think most of the rest of the world could have it.
Right.
I think Europe might have been. And they've taken a U-turn, so they're putting engine back in Macan, and you can still buy an electric by the sounds of things.
Okay.
There was talk of putting an engine in a Taycan. See Through Glass, Behind the Glass did an episode from what sounded like a very reliable source, got absolutely trashed, and they had to kind of backtrack. And then I believe it might have even been Autocar that basically did the exact same thing and said, we've now got this source and said all this information.
Yeah.
So who's to say? But by the sounds of things, they're taking a bit of a U-turn, and hopefully they're the same in the Boxster Cayman. But as it stands, the new Boxster Cayman is set to be electric, which is the most depressing.
It's horrible.
Not good. We have seen already 992.2 GT3 Touring.
Yeah.
Like it a lot.
Yeah.
Still like what they're doing.
Sounds like they've had a lot to contend with to keep it under regs, but they've done it in clever ways.
I think so.
Lower gear ratios.
Yeah. Looks really smart. One thing I think is about at least 3 years too late, but I think will sell very, very well. Range Rover Electric.
Gosh, yeah, there's never been a fully...
There's been hybrids.
Yeah.
Petrol hybrids.
Yeah.
But all electric Range Rover, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't find that insulting.
In the same way, what's the electric Rolls Royce? Huge one.
I don't know.
I can't remember. Anyway, in the same way that works.
Yeah.
I think the Range Rover.
As a wafter, yeah.
Electric Renaults, more electric
Winners, love French cars.
Rolls Royce Spectre, that was it. That was the electric. That one. Apparently, they're going to be bringing another EV out, which could possibly be the new Phantom, to electric Phantom. So we'll see. Skoda electric cars.
I think Rolls Royce are gonna do well this next year. They've just invested a lot of money into their HQ and down
their stocks.
south.
Have you seen their stocks?
They're good.
Incredible, mainly because they're military.
Don't you think electric works for Rolls Royce because
Absolutely.
it's just a wafter?
Yes, absolutely.
I think
Rolls Royce are doing very well, but I don't know about the car side of things.
Oh, like
the other side,
the defense,
defense, they're doing very, very well.
That's cool.
Apparently, that's interesting. They're going to bring an entry-level Model 3 in from Tesla with plastic bumpers and steelies. Interesting.
Plastic
So, like,
bumpers.
super basic Model 3.
Right.
That'd be crazy cheap.
Yeah.
Maybe like 30 grand. Maybe under 30 grand.
As a business lease, that would do
very well. As if it didn't sell well already. There was talk and speculation of a Tesla Model 2. I'm talking about that for yes, I think that'd be like a Golf rival.
Yeah. Again, that probably would be.
That will sell really, really well. So that'll be interesting. So watch this space. But that's been talked about for a couple of years. New Tesla Model Y has already been released.
Yeah.
GR Corolla, I think we are getting in the UK.
We're going to get it.
I think so.
Right.
Because Australia has it. I think the States has it.
Yeah.
We don't.
Again, that will sell well.
Yeah, you had two Corollas, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah. GR Supra A90 Final Edition. Looks nuts. Kind of looks like a drift spec car. Big wing.
Right.
Nice. I really like the look of the new Toyota Land Cruiser.
Yeah. Cool car.
Really, especially when you get the retro headlight ones.
Yeah. It does have a bit of retro look.
Like it a lot. And I think that comes out at a fairly good price point. Considering what cars are priced nowadays,
right?
You can pick one up.
70 grand.
There are some in the UK already. I've seen a couple on the road.
Yeah.
Some of them are imported. I've seen a couple imported from Dubai at dealers and that sort of thing.
I mean, if you're out of the country, that would be.
But more and more are coming to the UK.
Yeah.
I do like what Toyota are doing. Vauxhall, electric. Volkswagen, electric. Volvo, electric. I don't get why Volvo's doing a lot of electric when they've got Polestar. I don't know. I think brands are confused nowadays.
Well, Polestar's its own entity now. It used to be like the M of BMW, from what I can tell. But now it's its own brand.
Citroen had done the same with DS.
Yeah.
It's now its own brand.
Yeah. Same with Alpine and Renault.
Yeah. So confusing.
Yeah. Someone's competing with themselves, aren't they?
To summarise, shed load of Chinese electric cars, shed load of European electric cars,
there's a few
American electric cars.
There's a few gems in there, though.
There's a couple to look forward to.
The CS Touring is well up there for me. The new Lamborghini.
M2 CS as well.
M2 CS, that'll look cool.
New Lamborghini. Actually, Range Rover electric. That would be interesting.
Yeah, there are some good cars in there still. You've just got to sift through the shit.
There's some diamonds in the rough. We'll see. See how many of them we get to drive. Probably none of them. Let's talk about what else we got on there. Motorsport season preview.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to look forward to this year.
Yeah.
Although we're a more car-focused podcast, I am dead excited for MotoGP this year. I'm going to try and get you to watch V races this year.
Yeah, let's try and get me into it.
The last 3 seasons have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Last season was crazy. And this season coming is set to be a doozy.
Okay.
So my aim for this year is to try and get you into it.
I think a lot of it's just you want to relate to the people, the drivers. I need to understand who they are, and you know.
Reasons for that. Do you know what would be quite funny is to do a podcast episode where we watch MotoGP and I talk you through it, and you learn
in the
MotoGP.
Yeah, put it on there.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool. I think we could do something like that. And obviously F1.
Yes,
a lot to look forward.
I mean, Lewis Hamilton's
that's the talk of the town.
It's fucking cool.
It's seriously cool.
Yeah. The fact that you know how passionate he is about being a Ferrari driver as well. I'm going to Silverstone GP on the Sunday this year, so
I might try and sort myself.
I got tickets, mate.
Yeah, I think this season's going to be good. Especially, and there's a lot of anticipation for the following season throughout this season as well. So if we talk about Aston Martin and Newey, surely for when Newey comes in 2026, they need a new driver lineup.
Yeah.
Let's talk of Verstappen. $1
$1
billion deal to Verstappen to go to Aston Martin.
Really?
Was a headline. It could have just been clickbait. That's on social media,
right.
But it was everywhere. Which would be interesting. I don't understand Aston Martin, where they're getting his money from. They are not doing well.
No.
Despite how amazing what they're doing with cars is. Their stock isn't good. I hope it turns.
I mean, you can just tell in the F1 and in their passenger cars that the amount of money they're investing, and they're still going through product development on the next lineup of cars.
Yeah,
it's got to work. Otherwise, they're going to need to be bought out or
again
lost for eternity.
There's way more positivity surrounding both the F1 and.
I was just thinking, look at a company like Aston Martin in this all electric. I mean, how do they survive?
But you could say the same. Look at Jaguar.
Yeah. Something I want to ask you.
Go on.
Do you think McLaren will make an SUV? Because everyone else in their
That's interesting.
sector does now. And I think there's been rumours of it.
Do you not think McLaren's more focused than all of them?
Yeah, I would agree. But to compete...
That doesn't work for me. In the same way that a Lotus SUV doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a complete flop. The money they'd have to spend.
But, hey, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Aston Martin, their top-selling cars are all SUVs now. So, McLaren have either got to, no, I'm not a businessman, but they've either got to, start bringing things back and reducing costs and just focusing on really specialist supercars, or they've got to do something with more volume, I assume.
Well, they've just been bought out by the Saudis, haven't they, completely?
Yeah. And so that Saudi group owns NIO, which is an EV company.
Okay.
And they do, battery swapping tech. And then they also own 47. You've probably never heard of them. They're an upcoming OEM. And they're going to be all electric. So I don't know if there'll be any partnerships between them, for McLaren to take some battery tech or whatever.
Cheaper.
Yeah, or base it off one of them. I don't know. But because I think 47 are going to be quite premium. But
for me, that doesn't work there, does it? In the same way that I think Lotus is a good example. Lotus doesn't work from an SUV.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't. And I assume the sales of
they're not good.
That.
I think they're taking a U-turn on all electric.
Oh, really?
Amira's a card buy.
I saw an Electra drive past the other day, and I just looked at it and I was like, if I was an old Lotus Elise owner or whatever, that they literally made like 800 kilogram track cars, and then you go and see that 2.5 ton boat.
It's probably more than that. And do you not think
it must be insulting?
I've seen a few on the road, and I have to go, what is that?
Yeah,
it's not obvious that it's a Lotus.
No, there's no brand. No historic brand.
It's just a thing. It's an ugly object. There's no. Do you know when you could take the badges off a lot of cars and you know exactly what it is?
Yeah.
Take the badges off that. I mean, you can't really see the badges anyway. And I would say it's a BYD.
Yeah. You must be insulted as a Lotus owner of like a.
I'm insulted as a motor enthusiast.
But on the flip side, the what's it called? The current sports car,
Amira.
That's a great car.
Great car. I hope they're selling because I would buy one.
I think they are. Yeah,
I would buy.
That's in that category of like Cayman, like Supra. I like those kind of cars. M2. They're my kind of cars.
Ooh, here we go. You've put down here best used cars to buy in 2025. The Haggerty list.
Yes.
Run me through this because I'm interested in this.
Yeah, we'll finish with this. I think we're probably approaching time, aren't we?
We'll do that and we'll do the Dream Car Garage.
Let's zoom through this. Yeah, so Haggerty car list. I thought this was quite interesting. It's hard to say. Is there a car, are cars investments? Obviously some are, but generally it's not the best investment advice. But it's interesting to see. So Haggerty put together a list of 10 cars they would consider as investments for 2025. The first one is the Subaru Impreza P1, which I think is probably a safe bet.
Because that is the two-door version.
Yeah.
So the two-door version, the coupe as such, I think does hold value a lot better.
I think that's a safe bet.
What's the price point on one of them nowadays?
Does
it say?
Oh my gosh, a 22B went for £480,000.
The 22Bs are nuts. You see them,
but it's like I assume it's like a
on those 22Bs. If you look through those on collecting cars, they sell from
This is interesting. So in 2022, an excellent, a high spec one of these or nice quality was 32 grand. 2 years later is 50 grand. So, I mean that's probably going to keep going that way.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Second one, the 1997 to 80 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow 2.
See them as like wedding cars a lot, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, is that car an investment if the amount of maintenance that must cost? Do you know what I mean? They just exclude the fact that you've got to keep this car running.
That's true.
So yeah, fair enough.
You could whack it in storage and worry about it in 10 years' time.
I've always liked these. Ferrari F355.
Yeah, so this is a car that Evoluto is doing a resto mod version. Okay. So if you supply the car, they do a really cool version for X hundreds of thousands of pounds, cool. And it looks seriously cool. But they were kind of the, for lack of a better term, unwanted stepchild from Ferrari. Nobody really wanted them and apparently weren't great. But as everything Ferrari does, it has a point where it starts to go back up. So I think that's that car's.
Yeah, it's that car's moment, isn't it? Mm. I mean, you look at that graph there, the growth.
Wow.
Of the 355 compared to some of the other models.
Wow.
Yeah. It's it's pretty old by today's standard now, but cool car.
Yeah.
If you wanted a bit of a garage.
And what do they go for?
Value range upwards of 90,000.
Okay.
But between 50 and 90,000, there's a lot of different specs. I'm guessing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anything else on there that's worth?
Porsche 912, an old Porsche. I mean, old Porsche is a good one.
So the 912's always been overlooked because obviously 911. So this was I
don't even know what this is.
So it's got a slightly different engine. It's air-cooled still an air-cooled Porsche. We'll probably get a better description. I see quite a few at the guys at Export 56.
Yeah.
They do some beautiful restorations and maintenance on 912s. And I think it's basically, if you wanted, you can get in a cheaper 911 that way.
That's cool.
So I think they're 4-pot rather than 6-pot. I think they're all 4-cylinder engines rather than flat 6s. I think that's one of the main differences. Don't quote me on that. They're not an air-cooled finisher. What's the word? Aficionado. What else we got?
This, mate, this I like. Alfa Romeo 147 GTA.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I mean, you've got nice wide rear arches. I think that's a great bit of kit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I bet there'd probably be more money than you'd want to spend on one.
Yeah. For a nice one, 15 grand.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be more than that.
No.
One of those things that you don't
much.
understand why there's so much money.
Old RAV4s. I mean, the size increase on compared to that by today's
They're one of those cars. So for having in a holiday home, for example, in the south of Spain, how cool would I really want an old school Fiat Panda 4x4? But that's kind of the next sort of thing, isn't it? An original RAV4 research.
Yeah.
It would be seriously cool. And just go anywhere.
Drive it down the beach.
Go and do the airport runs in it. Really cool.
Good fun. Old Aston Healey 3000, 60s car.
Yeah. Oh, curious, going back to the RAV4, what do they go for?
For a bad one, £600. For a nice one, £5,000.
I might have to do some people.
Make some calls.
Can you get... I would have to look. If you can get that gen with a 7-seater, that is the car to go for.
Oh, you can't get 7-seater in that gen, mate. They're tiny.
But they might do a long wheelbase version.
No, they're tiny. The original ones.
Okay. That'd still be perfect.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
All right.
I'll zoom through some of these.
Yeah.
Maserati Ghibli. That's quite cool.
Yeah, they're seriously good.
Really cool.
Yeah, and what are they going for? They could be good.
Got a bit of a Lancia vibe from that.
Yeah, they have. And that colour's lovely.
They're going for between 10 and 30 grand. Obviously very spec dependent.
Yeah.
Peugeot 106, back onto the French hatchbacks.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They're really cool. That's the rally version.
They're tiny, aren't they? Look
at
the bonnet.
That'd be so much fun.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Old Range Rover, the P38A.
So my parents had 2 of these.
Oh, really?
And that's the word. When we were in Spain with my grandparents, that's that Range Rover.
That rode like a dream.
Still, it had air suspension.
Yeah, it rode like a dream.
It was phenomenal. I mean, it went wrong all of the time.
I bet. And this is the thing, I feel like they don't factor that in, that there's going to be some maintenance with these.
What's hilarious, so when my grandparents moved out to Spain and they had that and a Nissan Patrol they've still got.
Yeah.
So for years, they managed to get away with not registering the cars as Spanish, and annually they would bring cars back and have them MOT'd and use it as their trip back.
Yeah.
They didn't, it might have been when we left the EU, things changed. So you have to get, I think it might be TUV or Spanish equivalent of getting an MOT and registering them over there.
Yeah.
They didn't do it for a while. Got away. Spain's pretty relaxed. You got away with it for a certain amount of time, or if you showed that it was going back, or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they were out for an evening meal in a Range Rover, and they'd spotted that this car hadn't been MOT'd in Spain or had their version of it all been registered, either one.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they will tape up the door so you can't drive your car. You can't get in or out, and they'll put almost like police tape. But because it was in a UK right-hander car, they did it on the left-hand door. I think it is so you could just still. So they would just drive around with tape on that.
They didn't see the steering wheel.
They didn't see the steering wheel. They've
really
just
funny.
done it on the left-hand side because they only have obviously left-hand side drive cars with it. So yeah, that's hilarious. Sorry,
that's really funny.
So yeah, that's quite a cool little story about P38.
There you go.
So that's your advice to go and buy used cars in 2025. Before we finish, I want to run through our Dream Car Garage. Hopefully this will be a recurring segment that we run each episode, where one of us will come up with a scenario and we have to try and come up with the Dream Car Garage given the parameters. So for this one, you've hit the big 3-0 and it's time to treat yourself. After years of dreaming, saving, and countless hours spent browsing Auto Trade at 2 a.m., which is definitely us, you're ready to upgrade. You sell your beloved 987 Cayman S for £17,000, giving you a total budget of 60 grand to build a perfect 2-car garage. The mission. So you need to find a sport car that feels like a true upgrade from your 987 Cayman, while still leaving enough in the pot for a solid daily driver. Shoot.
Wow.
What are you thinking? You got 60 grand.
60 grand.
You need to feel like you've got an upgrade, but you also still need a solid daily driver.
Yeah. I mean, upgrade on my car or your car?
So you had a 987S.
Okay. Yeah.
You sold that for 17 grand. You've got a total budget of 60 grand. You've been saving.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you going for?
I think I've got a car in mind for the sports car, and I'm not sure you would argue it's necessarily an upgrade. It's a bit of a different ball game.
Okay.
A BMW 1M would be cool, but that's quite a lot of the budget. Depends on the spec. I think they're 40 to 50 grand.
Yeah, they are now.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That's okay.
A higher mileage 40 grand one.
Okay. So we'll hypothetically say you've got a 1M for 45 grand.
45, okay. And then 15
Do
grand.
a quick auto.
And that, oh no, I was going to say that Alfa Romeo hatchback. That's not really a daily, is it?
You could daily that.
You could daily, yeah.
Okay.
What about a more sensible daily than that? Jimny.
Let's see if we can get you a 1M.
Yeah.
For
you got to factor in my haggling ability. You search 1 series and then M, I think. I would look to.
You can 25,000 miles, 50 grand. Okay. There's one there which has got 92,500 miles for 32.5 grand. So absolutely, we can get you
bang in the bank.
Grand.
So yeah, I think 1M would be cool. I've always wanted one of them. And then a daily. I'm not that bothered really. It's to get it from A to B. I don't know. Maybe like an Alfa Romeo would be cool. It might not be the most reliable. Even some of the newer hatchbacks, I think they're quite cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for one of those 147s.
Really cool
GTAs.
That'd be a wicked 2 car.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit old and a bit unreliable, but it's cool.
I like it. Do you want to hear mine?
Kind of.
Because I've been looking. This is where this is inspired from.
God.
Have
you already bought them?
I've got 3.5 years till I'm 30.
Okay.
And I want to set this as a goal for the big 3M. And I have got a 987 Cayman S. Whether I'll get 17 grand for it, we'll see. So let's say I have got this budget of 60 grand in, which I'm hopefully going to have in the next 3.5 years, let's say, hypothetically.
Yeah.
You want to feel like you've got a true upgrade from the Cayman, but you love your Cayman. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But you want something slightly newer, a bit more power.
Yeah.
Prices have come down on 981 GT4s. So I'm spending I'm going to blow my budget and get a GT4.
Okay.
In speed yellow with yellow contrast stitching, carbon bucket seats.
Oh, really? What, you can get that for under 60 grand?
Used, yeah, you can get 55 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
55?
55 grand.
What are you going to daily, mate? A fucking bicycle?
No, I'm going to get a 325D Touring.
325D Touring?
2008, 2009.
Like the one you used to have?
It might have 100,000 miles on it, 120,000 miles, but it'll be a solid daily.
I mean, that is the definition of blowing the bank.
Yeah.
You've just gone all-out sports car, tin can to drive you A to B. I think the 325 is actually quite a good car.
But you got yourself a GT4.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be my 2 cars.
I'd probably pick yours.
Can we... Nice. Have we covered everything we wanted to cover today?
I think so,
I don't know how long we've been recording for.
I think I need a new SD card after this episode. It's a bit long, isn't it?
It's good.
But that's what happens when you're passionate about cars. You just waffle.
Yeah, man. There'll be plenty of waffling to come. Thank you for watching if you have watched. Thank you for listening if you are listening. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts. For shorts, YouTube Reels. Is that the right time? No, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok.
Yeah.
Feel free to text a message, give us some abuse. We've had some positive and
some negative
feedback, which is all. I think
we've lost the.
They've gone. I've put
boom mic things.
We had the mic covers on here, and I think the first comment we got back was another mouthless or faceless podcast.
It was the faceless podcast. That's
so absolutely roasted. Please keep giving us some feedback.
Yeah.
This will, in theory, only get better and better as we go. And without it, we'll probably carry on being crap. So, yeah. Give us feedback. Hopefully, you've taken something from it. If I've taken anything from it, it's we've got a couple of cars to look forward to for 2025.
Hopefully, yeah.
I'm going to buy a GT4. You're going to go and buy an electric Alpine, and the world continues to spin.
Yeah.
So yes, hopefully the next couple of weeks I'll have another episode going up. It won't be so long, and we'll just keep trying to churn them out and see how we go.
Stop being ill. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it now for the year. We've been ill. That's it. Done. Dusted.
Sorted.
All good.
Good stuff.
Nice one.
All right.
Catch you soon.
Cheers.